Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you are at. Thank you for clicking on this video today. My name is Matthew Bonig, and this is another episode of CDK releases. In this video, I will cover the latest CDK release 2.30.0. I'll talk about the new features, the fixes. I'll pick out my feature of the release, my fix of the release, and then highlight the MVP, the most valuable participator in this release. So let's get right into it. Before we do, though, let me know what you think about this new format. Leave a comment below. I'm trying a little bit different of a setup here. Want to know what you think about it. So if you like it, let me know. If you don't and you want me to go back to the old floating head format, just put that comment in there as well. So starting off, we got a change to app mesh. It's going to go ahead and support IPv6. Incognito, we see a change to make the grant available on user pools. So now you can have a generic grant function on user pools for easily setting up policies and IAM roles and things like that. In IAM, the policy statements object gets a new frozen function. We'll talk about that more in depth here in just a moment. Lambda gets a grant function permissions to an AWS organization. So this is a really cool feature, the little helper setup for granting permissions to invoke a function from an organization or from an account within the organization. And RDS gets filled out with some missing Aurora Postgres versions. In our bug fixes, we get an explicit test for undefined instead of falsy. So if you've worked with JavaScript and TypeScript for a while, you know that it's pretty easy to do a falsy test, which means that you're checking for anything that is either undefined or null or zero or false or any of the not or false types of values. And it looks like in this case, they're making a change to explicitly check for undefined so that you don't run into an edge bug or anything like that. In EKS, they reverted a change for the shell equals true and for allowing the public ECR to work. So in pipelines, like we typically see with the 0.1 patch releases, that previous 0.1 patch release changed this. Confirm permissions broadening was on the wrong node version. That has now been carried over into the major release, the next one. In Secrets Manager, the secret rotation app does not set deletion policy. Let's dive into that one a little bit more. So in this case, this is a situation where the secret rotation is now going to get the removal policy of destroy by default on here. All right, so let's hop back quick for a moment and let's talk about the feature of this release. So for the feature of this release, I'm picking out this IAM policy statements. If we dig into this a little bit more, this is sort of a probably really edge case for, I think, most people. This was a situation where developer within the community who wrote the very popular CDK IAM Floyd module noticed that with one of the more recent versions with some of the IAM changes around consolidating IAM policies, that his construct, his module that he wrote, which has been used by me on a lot of projects and a lot of people within the community, it was broken and it wasn't working anymore. He actually reached out on the cdk.dev Slack server, asked a few questions about how to get it working, and Rico here went ahead and made a change to the IAM policy statements to add this freeze method in. And the reason why this is going to get my feature of the release award this time is because this is a great example of how the CDK team is really trying to support the community to the best of their ability. And when a popular construct was broken by a change they made, they're quickly making changes into the CDK so that now the developer can go back to the CDK IAM Floyd module and go ahead and get that thing updated so it now works with the later versions and it works with policy concatenation and the recent changes they made there. So really good to see these sorts of changes come out from the CDK team, really supporting the community a lot and the things that they are doing. They understand that the third-party community is really valuable to them, and that's great to see. For the fix of this release, I'm going to go ahead and pick out this fix for EKS. This was, again, a case where they sort of saw a regression happen with some modules and quickly responded by reverting that back and go ahead and got things working again. So again, a good response to community problems. And so that's why it's going to get my fix of the release. All right, so for the MVP for this release, I'm going to go ahead and pick Rico, or Rixor as he is known on GitHub. He is one of the primary developers on the CDK, a real leader on the team, and he's always churning out these really useful, pretty complex changes when it comes to good API design and things like that. So he's going to get the MVP for this release. All right, and that is it for this release. A pretty small one, but hopefully a couple of good features and fixes in there, something that you'll find useful. As always, if you liked this video and you want to see more of them, go ahead and give me a like. If you want to see additional videos when they come out and get notified, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for tuning in.